tribes of the hairy hooligans and the merciless meatheads, or go into miserable exile forever from the inner isles. Let's see which it's going to be, shall we?" He grinned nastily at the 20 boys standing before him. "I shall begin by inspecting you and your animals, as if you were warriors about to go into battle. I shall introduce you to the watching members of the tribes you hope to enter. Then the test will begin. You will demonstrate how you have asserted yourselves over those wild creatures and tamed them by the sheer force of your heroic personalities. You will start by performing the basic commands of go, stay, and fetch. You will end by ordering your reptile to hunt fish for you, as your forefathers have done before you." Hiccup swallowed nervously. "The boy and the dragon who most impresses the judge, and that is me," Gobber bared his teeth grimly, "will receive the extra glory of being called the hero of heroes and most promising dragon. The boys and dragons who fail this test will say farewell to their families forever and leave the tribe to go where we do not care." Gobber paused. "Poetry," muttered Fishlegs, just loud enough for Gobber to hear. Gobber glared at him. "Heroes or exile!" yelled Gobber the Belch. "Heroes or exile!" yelled 18 boys, frantically batting him. "Heroes or exile!" yelled the watching hooligans and meathead tribes. "Please let me be a bit of a hero just this once," Hiccup and Fishlegs each thought to themselves. "Nothing too spectacular or anything, just to get through this test. Stand to attention with your dragons on your right arms," yelled Gobber the Belch. Gobber walked down the row of boys for the inspection. "Beautiful turnout," Gobber congratulated Thuggery the Meathead on his nightmare dragon killer, who spread out his shining wings to show off a wingspan of about 4 feet. Gobber stopped abruptly when he got to Hiccup. "And what in the name of Woden," demanded Gobber the Belch, blanding a little, "is this?" "It's a toothless dragon daydream, sir," muttered Hiccup. "Small but vicious," added Fishlegs helpfully. "Toothless daydreamer?" blustered Gobber. "That's the smallest common or garden I've ever seen. What do you think I am, an idiot?" No, sir," muttered Fishlegs, reassuring. "Just a little on the slow side." Gobber glowered dangerously. "A toothless daydreamer," explained Hiccup. "Looks exactly like a common or garden, except the characteristic wart on the end of its nose." "Silence!" said Gobber in a very loud whisper. I shall throw you all out all the way to the mainland. I hope," he continued, "that this dragon hunts better than he looks. You and your fishy friends here are the worst candidates for initiation I have ever had the displeasure of teaching. But you are the future of the tribe, Hiccup. And if you shame us in front of the meatheads, I personally will never forgive you. Do you understand?" Hiccup nodded. Each boy then stepped forward to bow and hold up his dragon for the spectators to applaud. There was huge clapping for Snot-Face, Snot-Lout and his dragon Fireworm, rivalled only by the mighty cheering for Thuggery the Meathead and his dragon Killer. "I give you the last, but not least." Gobber the Belch was trying to put a bit of enthusiasm into his yelling. "The fearsome, the terrible, the only son of Stoic the Vast, Hiccup the Useless and his dragon Toothful." Hiccup stepped forward and held up Toothless as high as he could to make him look a bit bigger. There was a slightly appalled silence. People had seen dragons this small before, of course, normally scampering about after field mice in the wild, but not as the noble hunting dragon competition in initiation. "Size isn't everything," boomed Stoic as loudly that you could have heard him several beaches away, and then he banged his great hands together to start the applause. Everyone was terrified of Stoic's famous temper, so they joined in with polite, wild cheering. Toothless was still in a mood, but he was delighted to be the centre of attention, and he puffed out his chest and bowed solemnly to left and right. A few of the meatheads snickered. "I've changed my mind," thought Hiccup, closing his eyes. "This is the worst moment of my life so far." "Okay, Toothless," he whispered into the little dragon's ear. "This is our big chance. Catch lots of fish here, and I will tell you more jokes than you have ever heard in your life, which will make that big red fireworm dragon really cross." Toothless took a sideways glance at Fireworm. She was sharpening her nails on Snot-Lout's helmet with the smug certainty of a dragon who knows she's about to win the prize for the most promising dragon. The test began. Toothless didn't do too badly in the early obedience exercises, though he clearly thought it was extremely dull. It was now raining quite hard, and Toothless hated the rain. He wanted to go home and relax in front of a nice, warm fire. Fireworm and Killer were going and fetching as soon as Snot-Lout and Thuggery commanded, and they were diving and breathing out fire as they did so, just to show off. Fireworm did some fancy aerobatic somersaults that had the crowd screaming and scampering their feet, and screaming and stamping their feet. "Start your hunting!" yelled Gobber the Belch. Every dragon, except Toothless, flew out to sea. Toothless flapped at Hiccup's shoulder. "Toothless got a tummy ache," he complained. Hiccup tried not to see his father looking surprised on the sidelines. He tried not to notice the crowd whispering to each other, "That Stoic's son over there. No, not the tall one with the skeleton tattoos who looks like a pig. The small, skinny one who can't even control his minuscule dragon." "Don't forget, Toothless," said Hiccup through gritted teeth, "the fish. I'm going to tell you all the jokes I've never heard. Remember?" "Tell me now," said Toothless. Help came from an unexpected quarter. Snot-Lout broke off from yelling, "Kill! Fireworm, kill!" to lean over and sneer at Hiccup. "What are you doing, Hiccup? You're not talking to that newt with wings, are you? Talking to dragons is against the rules and forbidden by order of Stoic the Vast, your wimpy father." "Newt with wings," repeated Toothless. "Newt with wings. "You're not a newt with wings, are you, Toothless?" said Hiccup. "You're the best hunter in the world, aren't you?" "Too right I am," said Toothless grumpily. "You show that snot-faced Snotlout and his snobby dragon what a real hunting dragon can do," said Hiccup urgently. "OK then," said Toothless. Hiccup heaved a sigh of relief as Toothless took off in a shambolic fashion in the general direction of the sea. "This is too good to be true," Hiccup said to himself 10 minutes later as Toothless returned from a second trip, clearly too bored for words, but dropping a couple of herring at Hiccup's feet. "In about half an hour, I, Hiccup, will become a fully paid member of the Hairy Hooligan tribe." It was too good to be true. Fireworm was just flying back to Snotlout with her 20th fish, her green cat eyes snapping with triumph, when Toothless called out, "Sloppy slop!" Fireworm stopped in mid-air, her head whipped around, her eyes narrowing. "What did you say?" hissed Fireworm. "No," said Hiccup. "No, Toothless! No, don't do it!" "Slippery slop!" jeered Toothless. "Is that the best you can do? It's pathetic, hopeless, useless. You nightmares think you're so cruel, but you're sloppy as scallops." "You!" hissed Fireworm, her ears dangerously back as she crept forward through the air like a leopard about to spring. "You are a little liar, and you," said Toothless calmly, "are a rabbit-eated, sea-brained, winkling slop." Fireworm went